I've been talking a lot about recognizing or being able to spot these problematic behaviors in others, and I haven't really talked about like how to go about putting up with these said behaviors or problem behaviors. I haven't been trained professionally, but most of it I've learned through observation or reading. But and some of them, like, I've tried different methods. I mean, the good thing about problem people is that they're all the same. So, like, somebody with a personality disorder will behave and respond exactly the same as another. So, you can do the experiments on these people, and the feedback you get from that person with that personality disorder would be applicable to another person with that personality disorder. That's the great thing about medicine, I think, is when doctors figure out like cure disease and all that kind of stuff. Like they know the progression of the disease, it doesn't change, and the response is gonna be the same, even if it's in different people or different animals. It's great that way. Okay. But okay, so if a person that you know is starting to exhibit any of like the defense mechanisms, I think there are 12 of them. I'm not really sure, but there are a number of defense mechanisms, and if a person that you're talking to has started to project their feelings of insecurity and low self-worth onto you by saying it's you who is like that, right? What you do is let them know that they're starting to be ridiculous. So if like I've had crackheads come up to me and blame me and call me a crackhead, like that's what I'm talking about. So like if a crackhead comes up to you and says you're the crackhead, it's your problem, you are the ones who are, like if they start saying those kinds of things, you have to be able to say that I think you're the one on crack and I don't smoke crack. And the reason why you're saying this is because you're ashamed of the fact that you're a crackhead. But blaming me is not going to solve that. It's not going to change that fact. And then at that point, most reasonable people will understand or start to realize that's what they're doing. But if you come across somebody who doesn't stop that, you just say that and then you leave. If somebody's starting to treat you like you are responsible for their problems and their emotional baggage, you 100% have to leave the person immediately. They're parasitic. They're literally looking for somebody to like validate them all the time, and it's so annoying. It's like, why do I have to sit here and make sure that you're okay at all times when I don't have to do that? Like literally, why do I have to waste my time doing that shit? I'm not getting paid for it. And also, I don't like you that much. And you don't like the person because they're doing these negative things to you. Like you get that irked feeling where you're just like, how the fuck, excuse me, you have the audacity to sit there and treat me like I'm your mother, like I'm responsible for you in every single way. Are you insane? That's like my thought process. I'm pretty sure that's a lot of people's thought process. You know what the doctors do? They give them a allocated time limit. So like most psychiatrists, if it's their patient, they see them like probably once a month, once every 3 months, once every 6 months, once a year, or something like that. And then they stop seeing that person altogether. So you can do it that way. Like if it's this friend or acquaintance and you don't know how to get rid of this person, treat each like outing or each time that you guys are getting together as like a way to help that person, but at the same time look for a way out. So like always let them know that's what they're doing, especially if they don't seem to be aware of it. Let them know that you don't find it amusing and it's not really something that you want to get involved in. And if they can't respect your boundaries, then you can say, I have actually tried to talk to you about this, or I have talked to you about this, and you just don't seem to understand that it's not just you who is involved here. Like there are other people involved, and you just don't care about anybody else but yourself. And it would have been acceptable when you were like a newborn infant, you know? Like a newborn infant can cry and care only about themselves. Like they cry and it's so loud and disruptive to everyone else because it's a fucking infant. It's so helpless, but that person you're talking to is no longer an infant. So you can say that to them, and then you can be like, I can no longer see you. Okay, bye. I mean, hopefully they'll understand by the fact that like you aren't seeing them that frequently. Like, and don't ever get it confused because some people will try to pull this trick on you where they're treating you like you're the mental patient or there's something wrong with you when they have been doing some weird shit behind your back. Like they're the ones going to the police and lying about you, or they're the ones spreading rumors about you to everybody they can see and meet that has anything to do with you. Like there are people like that out there. Like they seem normal when you meet them. The only giveaway is that they're not physically normal. Like they look abnormal. So those people, again, don't go by what they're saying. Just know that you are the normal one and that person is doing all they can to save face or try to make it seem like they're the normal ones and they're trying to take the heat off of themselves by trying to make it look like they're pushing blame on somebody else, right? I mean, it's very obvious that that's what they're doing. But yeah, it's not convincing. Like that's the one thing you have to be aware of is that the only people who are convinced by that or who go along with those kind of stuff are people who are just as crazy as they are. And those people, like if you can spot them right away, like you can avoid them so easily. You don't have to do the job of going out and meeting each single one of them if you can see that they're grouping by themselves. You know, like you get like this idiot who starts to get jealous of you and starts spreading all these nasty rumors about you, and you see everyone who's siding with that person, and you're like, okay, these are all idiots. And then you leave them immediately. You're like, I'm not gonna put up with it and I'm not gonna deal with them. So you're just gonna go, and then if they come after you, then you can defend yourself. But basically, just don't indulge in their fantasies. Like it's just so unhealthy for them and it's just so stressful for you. And that's what psychiatrists do. They don't indulge them in their fantasies, but they don't at the same time reject it. They sit there and listen and then they interject when necessary and they prescribe them a bunch of pills. You don't even have to interject. You can just sit there and say nothing, and they'll go on and on and on about how crazy you are. And like literally, this has happened to me. I'd be sitting there and I'd just be looking at them, and I wouldn't say a damn word, and they would be going on and on and on about how crazy I am and how much of a slut I am and what a crackhead I am and how much drugs I'm on. I'm on heroin and meth and like I'm having sex with 5 different guys at one time and I'm a prostitute and all that kind of stuff. They will literally sit there and tell me this. A complete stranger that I've never actually met before. And then I'd be like, okay, I see. Well, sometimes life is hard for some people, and including me too. Like, it's like, sometimes you wake up and you just want to sleep all day and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I get that, like, it's not that great. Okay, okay, and then you just, like, say, okay, well, thank you. Okay, bye. That's it, and then you just leave. And then you never talk to that person ever again. Like, you don't have to. But that's, like, my tip of the day is, like, don't ever try to convince them otherwise. Like it's not gonna work the way you think it's gonna work because they're already delusional and it can be dangerous for you because they're psychotic. So the best thing to do is just to kind of like alleviate the stress for yourself by understanding that it's not about you and they're wrong about everything they're saying about you, and then slowly removing yourself from that situation permanently.